Hello everyone, Renata from the eSpot here, and I want to do a little bit of a yap time session and let you all know what's going on. I've had a much better day today than previous days, although it has had a little bit of like ups and downs, you could say. I woke up this morning and actually I went to bed last night and my big toe really hurt badly. And this morning I noticed that it was like swollen. And I was like, oh my God, you have to be kidding me. Something is wrong with my toe. But I think that actually it's just that I've been walking a lot here. And I really wasn't on my feet much when I was at home, other than the week before I came where I was packing and cleaning and running around and carrying heavy stuff, putting into storage. And my body has been through a lot. And then since getting here, I've had to walk a lot, which is good. I'm not complaining about that. It's nice to be able to walk and feel safe when I'm out and I'm walking, which I had discussed in one of my like initial videos about being here, like the safety of walking. But I've been running errands like every single day because I don't have a lot of stuff. And it's like, so I go out and it's like, okay, I get a frying pan so that I can cook food for myself so that I'm not just eating like noodle cups, for every meal. And I bought like chicken and stuff so that I could, fry up actual food. And then like I get home and I realize that I don't have cooking oil. And so it's like, oh, okay, so now I have to go again out to a store and get cooking oil. And I feel like I've just been having a ton of these sort of things. So it's like, even though I haven't really been doing much of anything at all, I'm just always go, go, go. And so I think just so much time on my feet, I hurt my foot or I've just like overtaxed my foot. So that kind of sucked. But I did get to have just a really nice afternoon, actually. A friend of mine was in town and was able to meet me for lunch. So this was the first time that I was able to like go out with someone who I already knew. I did actually someone took me to go secondhand shopping, but that was the first time I ever met that person. And as wonderful as that was, it was kind of like, the first time meeting someone, but this was someone who I knew. So we got to like catch up a little bit and talk about things, and we got to have lunch. And what was really nice about that is that they were familiar with this place because they had gone to school here. And so they were able to take me to a student restaurant, which is actually right by my house. So it's great because now I know that like I can just, if I really want a quick lunch, I can just cross the street and I can get like a good lunch. And, unlike the trip that I had to the swimming pool where I was sort of like, alone and like nervous and not really knowing like what to do in what order, like my friend was able to sort of like show me the way. Like, not that it's hard to know how to like get a tray and a plate, but like, just to have someone else with you to, you just, follow their lead, like it makes it a lot more easy and a lot more relaxed and a lot less stressful. So that was really cool. And about the food was really good. And it was kind of like a little buffet line. And they had meat options, vegetarian options. I had like sort of like a kebab, meat and vegetable. I would call it more of like maybe like a stew actually, with rice and potatoes and salad and really good bread and some coffee and cookies for dessert. And all of it was about, I think, 11.50 euros. So really not that bad. And I'll actually get it for cheaper once I get my student card. But this is one of the many things that I really need to do this week. It's just, there's so many small things that I have to do. And like I said, it's like I'm just running around all the time. I'm doing this and that and the other. And it's productive stuff, but it doesn't feel like, it's not like enjoyable stuff. Like it's errands. Like I'm running errands. So that's another errand that I have to do, but there's a great benefit for that errand because I'll be able to get cheap lunch. I think it's like 5.50 or something euros. I mean, €5 for lunch, like you really can't beat that. Like, it's this big buffet. I'm pretty sure it was kind of like all you can eat. It looked at least like I was seeing people going up and getting like seconds. Not that I'm a person with a huge appetite, but just really nice to know that I have like this, healthy option, affordable option for days that I don't feel like cooking for myself, which I'm sure will be plenty, because I honestly, I'm going to admit, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking. And if I can just cross the street and get pre-made food and not have to do dishes afterwards, I'm probably going to do that a lot. So that was really cool. And also, just like I said, so nice to have someone that I know like with me, to not just be alone, because it has been pretty lonely here. It figures that of all the cities in Finland to go to, I would end up in the one where I don't really know anybody. There's a bunch of other cities where I do know a lot of people, but that's not where I am. But that's okay. I will meet people as time goes on and I get more acclimated with the university. So after lunch, I went and I ran another errand, but this one had a great payoff, and I'm sitting on it right now. So this is my new couch, and it's like a couch bed, and this is a bit of a saga, this couch situation. So when I got here, I thought to myself, like, okay, I really need to get a good bed. So I actually did buy a bed from a company called Isku, and it was expensive, but I figured this is like the one big new item that I'm going to buy. I didn't want to buy a secondhand bed. It's important to me because I love sleeping, that I had a really comfortable bed to sleep in. And it's really comfortable. I've been sleeping really quite well on the bed, at least physically quite well. Maybe mentally, I've had some rough nights, bad dreams and such, but physically it's a very good bed. But so I wanted a couch, and I wanted one that could be like convertible into a sofa, like a sleeper sofa. And I just thought, like, okay, I'm just gonna get like a cheap futon from IKEA, something simple that I can use for a month or two, something that can be delivered. This is important, something that could be delivered. So I wouldn't have to go somewhere. I wouldn't have to haul this item, something that could get brought right into the house, into the apartment. And like, okay, I'm from a college town. Futons are super common in college towns. I have sat on, slept on, owned so many futons. And normally they're pretty like decent. It's straightforward. Like, how do you fuck up a futon? Like, they're easy. And so this futon on IKEA actually had good reviews, like 4-star reviews. I actually considered buying a more expensive sleeper sofa from them, but it had really bad reviews. And I was like, well, if this cheaper one has better reviews, then maybe I'll just go for the cheaper one. Well, that was a huge mistake. Buyer beware. This thing, I put it together and I sat down on it. It was like the most uncomfortable thing I ever sat on. Like, a wooden bench in a train station would be more comfortable to sit on than this thing. Like, I couldn't sit on it for more than 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, like, who are these people lying in the comments on this item? Because this is not like fit for purpose. Like, I'd rather sit on the floor. And actually I did, in my video with the dog boots with Cookie last night, I sat on the floor instead of the couch because it wasn't comfortable. So luckily IKEA will allow me to return the item. But I immediately went on to Facebook Marketplace and I started looking for alternate couches because I just couldn't do it. And I do have a friend coming in the weekend to stay, and so they need a place that they can sleep, which is comfortable. So I really needed to do this quickly, and I was very, very fortunate that I found somebody who had a sleeper sofa at a decent price, exactly the right size that I needed, and it's super comfortable. Like, I feel really good sitting on it. And like, I'm so glad to be sitting on something that's comfortable, and I'm not sitting on the floor, and I'm not sitting on my bed. I'm not sitting on my little storage ottoman thing that I bought from Lidl for 12 euros. And I'm not sitting in my dog bed, because literally there were days where I would sit on the floor in the dog's bed because it was more comfortable than anything else. So I'm very happy about this. And also, I was so happy that the person who I purchased it from was like extremely patient and really helped me out a lot with this. So like it was too big for them to deliver in their car. I don't have a car. And it turns out I am not eligible to drive here because I'm not a tourist. So if I was a tourist, like just here visiting, I would be able to drive. But I have a residence permit. And so I'm actually required to get a Finnish driver's license. And one of the things when you fill out like a rental truck form, it asks you for your social security number. And I don't have a Finnish social security number yet. And I will be doing a much longer, more in-depth video about the social security number situation. It will be a doozy, but I want to do a little bit more research to let you guys know what the reality is when you come here and you need to get this social security number, because it's extremely important and it throws a wrench in absolutely everything. Like even the foot thing, I tried to call about seeing, what's the situation with, going to a doctor here because of the social security number thing. Like I said, I'll do another video about it. But so I didn't have the social security number, and it had an option where like you could choose, I don't live in Finland. The thing is there's like, this is a contract. You can't say, I don't live in Finland just so that you can do the rental vehicle. Like that's a breach of contract. Like that is illegal. And I'm not trying to break the law here. So I was really fortunate that this seller actually agreed to rent the vehicle. I paid for it, but they rented the vehicle under their name, and they drove this vehicle with the sofa to my apartment. And now I can sit and I can film a video in a comfortable seat, and I can actually I don't have a table yet. I will get a little table eventually, but like the little stand that I've got the camera on right now, like I'll be able to sit and put a plate on there and actually sit normally and eat instead of sitting on the edge of my bed with a plate in my lap eating food. So I'm super excited about that. Like I already am feeling just so much more like at home in my space, and so much more comfortable. And I feel, less like a stranger in my own home, and more like I'm really settling in, not just into this like physical, four walls, but into the city in general. And, getting to do more things and more normal things, more daily life things, and less, necessary bureaucratic type stuff. So I think that'll be all for this video, because I see I'm already over 10 minutes. I don't want to make these super long. No one wants to hear me talk for 20 minutes, but I will be doing more updates. Like I've said before, I'll be doing more high-tech updates as well. I hope that the microphone situation is working out. I'm going to test out a lot of different things in the future videos. So I think it will be interesting to kind of see how these sort of progress and, get better over time. And I can see that like the white balance is a little bit off and weird, and the lighting is weird, and I don't have a ring light or anything yet, but like with everything else, it'll all get better. It'll all come together. I will be more established, and hopefully have more things, more constructive, interesting things to say beyond just telling you about like how my day was and that I got lunch. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your comments and your support. I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming on this journey with me. And you can see Cookie doesn't have her little e-collar on because she really just needs a break from that cone collar, because it's just, I can tell it's just really bothering her. But she's doing so well with not rubbing her eye, and I can tell that she also feels really at ease she's probably excited to sit on the couch too, because she loved laying on the couch in my old apartment. So, yep, until next time, see you.